Hello, hello! It's that time. It's the fifth season of UPC. This is your ex-coach, Splurge, of the Bracknell B Drills, currently on hiatus. But here to give you the power rankings post-draft for Season 5. We have recently moved from a... sorry, I was just quickly killing the music. From a standard draft system to an auction draft system, so this is the first set of some interesting new rules to do with the drafting, which has produced quite possibly some of the best teams that have been around for quite some time. But so I'm going to go through kind of one after the other without giving any sort of order. This is very much off the cuff, and we're just going to see what really takes my fancy in this. So without further ado, we're heading straight in with the Portland Primates, His Holy Eminence Honor. So his roster for this season is Aegislash, Shaman Sky, Latias with Z, Volcanion, Weavile, Dugtrio, Zerkatry, Stakataka, Buzzwole, Gyarados, Clefable, and Mega Medicham. So there are a couple of things which you need to understand with the drafting system. Is that there was a base kind of set limit for each tier. So there are soft tiers with a base limit on each for the price, and so immediately within any draft, you have there are mons which kind of just jump out at you, and so my immediate reaction here was Clefable and Mega Medicham. They're two mons which shouldn't be at the bottom of this pricing sheet. They're two incredibly versatile mons, especially Clefable. So Clefable for 70 points on a budget of 1,750 is frankly ridiculous. I mean, so honestly, this is probably we've started off this with one of the best drafts which are here, and so just kind of breaking it down, you have a solid Dragon Steel Fairy Core with Aegislash or Stakataka. Both, I guess, are slow steel types, which makes them slightly vulnerable, but then to pivot against that, you have the bulkiness of Clefable and Latias for that matter, and then also the ground immunity that Latias holds with Levitate. And then kind of from there, this draft goes from strength to strength, kind of with a elemental core of Shaman Sky, Volcanion, and Gyarados. Whether Gyarados is really needed to be included in that, I'm not sure. Just the synergy between Shaman Sky and Volcanion is insane. The only issue that I see between those two is, of course, some speedy electric types of whatever manner. And generally just, this is a bit of a powerhouse draft. I mean, you have a couple of issues, I guess, to do with bulk, but as we go through this, what we see is that actually a lot of drafts, apart from a few key ones, naming no names, sketch, we'll get on to you later, that are quite offensively based. And so this is a lot the same. But so the thing is, though, is that this is a lot of very good wall breakers, I find. However, there are very few genuine sweepers within this draft. So it'll be interesting to see how his Holy Eminence proves himself through this season. It's definitely a strong set of 12 to start with. Admittedly, only two trades left, as there are a lot of free agents before week 1. But we will see how it goes. Moving on into our second set, which is Coach Oak of the Icky-Town Incineroars. I don't understand why you do this to yourself, Coach. I mean, me and you, we understand each other. We know like what we want from a draft. This does nothing. I don't get it. It has a couple of flashpoints of decent mons, but apart from that, it's just a set. Like, okay, you have Buttercup. Congratulations. Buttercup does not mean that you get a free pass to draft all of the whack shit. But yeah, so let me just quickly go through. So we, Coach Oak has Starmie, Staraptor, Gengar, Slurpuff, Vikavolt, Tapu Bulu, Cloyster, Crocodile, Tyrantrum, Blaziken Mega, Solgaleo, and Jolteon. So the thing that jumps out here is, so good things first. Good things first. We'll do that. So your speed tiers, they are very good. You are very slightly, just a tiny amount vulnerable to Trick Room. But apart from that, your speed tiers are pretty darn good on this. Your Z, so yeah, the other thing is so I'm gonna generally discount Zmons because most drafts have the majority of the Pokemon paid out to be Z powered. But so yeah, so double Intimidate. It's good. I like that. We have reasonable amount of hazard clearance. Just from where I'm looking, you haven't got too much hazard setting. But yeah, I'm not convinced yet. The more I look at it, the more I'm convinced. But at the moment, it's just I'm not willing to sell this as a decent draft just yet. I mean, I'm more than happy for you to prove me wrong, to slate me in the Discord. But yeah, so I mean, highlights for this would definitely be kind of your Elemental Core with Tapu Bulu, Mega Blaziken, and Starmie or Cloyster. Of course, Buttercup is always a highlight because Slurpuff is Slurpuff, and for 50, you've got it on the cheap. And I mean, you've been relatively well behaved in your budgeting, so that you're able to Z up most of your mons. But yeah, not convinced yet. Moving on, we'll get into Sketch. I mean, can we just take a minute, okay? I'm not angry, okay? I'm just disappointed. Let's just kind of let's just clear this out right from the get-go. Okay. Mega Sableye, Snorlax, Florges, Alomomola, Skizzer, Lugia, and Superior to some extent. I mean, did somebody forget to put in a no stall clause? I mean, this is probably one of the finest bulky backbones that I've seen coming out of a draft in quite some time. My one slight, so yes, that is a very good core, and then to kind of tee up with that, you have some of the finest powerhouses to work alongside it to really break everything else down, so you can really stall it out afterwards, or vice versa. So my only issue here is that you have very few Pokemon which actually kind of can be viewed as both defensive and offensive. I'd say that kind of Skizzer, Snorlax, and Lugia, and maybe Heatran or Raikou are probably the only ones which really fall into both categories. But past that, you have quite clean-cut defensive and offensive mons. I mean, that's no bad thing. It's just on the predictability factor, you have a couple of issues, and the music has stopped. What's happened? Was the music just really quiet? The music was just really quiet. So I'd say it's not bad. It's not bad, and it's pretty good by some extent. It's just I don't want to like it. Anyway, moving on to Tsunami and whatever the heck his team name is, because I've forgotten. So we have a Decidueye, a Necrozma, Tentacruel, Silvally, Mega Metagross, Yveltal, Galvantula, Zygarde, Primarina, Shedninja, Pyroar, and Lycanroc Dusk. There are 2 certainties within every single season of UPC. You have Tsunami with Yveltal and Bash with Victini. And no surprises, both have happened again. And Yveltal is now the priciest mon on the whole draft. That paired with Mega Metagross to be costing over half of your budget, it is an awesome pairing, and I like it. And I like it a lot, especially with Silvally. I'm the jury's out on whether it was worth spending over 1,000 on those 3 mons alone. I mean, paired up with that though, you have some of the best budgeted mons for the rest of it. I mean, Zygarde for 60, again, much like Clefable, what are people doing? And kind of Lycanroc Dusk and Pyroar for 60 in total isn't bad either. Yeah, so this draft has good bulk. It's just there's no wish passer here, and so if we wanted to go full wax, I mean there could be a wish passer. I'm not sure. I don't think there is. But so if we wanted to go full waxy wish pass, plus like a Silvally and Galvantula to really set up the sweeps, you needed a wish passer here. And I don't see one. The thing is, though, is that this is flat out hyper offense to some extent, with minor amounts of bulk in Decidueye, Necrozma, and Tentacruel. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I mean, of course, Yveltal can be a fat burb as well. So we'll wait and see. Again, not bad, and it's pretty good by most means. Just it's got a couple of kind of issues for me to really want to love it. Moving on into Bash with the New York Muse, ever the person to get a Victini. So we have Whimsicott, Thunderous Therian, Greninja Protein, Altaria Mega, Blissey, Gothitelle, Victini, Fortress, Rayquaza, Suicune, Cobalion, and Nidoking. So, now this falls into the same category as Coach Oak's draft. You have a handful of mons which aren't regularly drafted. Which again, I want to quickly point out, Oak, just because they're not regularly drafted doesn't mean that they're bad. It's just that I don't know enough about them to properly kind of make a solid verdict on them. Throughout the season I'll be doing this, and hopefully I'll get more and more kind of in tune with each of the kind of teams, how they work, the mons which I don't know so well, and how they work as well. But so now, so I kind of semi-helped set this draft up, but not really. We have the disgusting, it's just frankly horrifying elemental core of Victini, Suicune, and Whimsicott. I mean, that's really solid. I like that a lot, much in the same vein of Blaziken, Bulu, and Starmie. And then so the other thing is we have Greninja Protein again, which is it's the little ninja that is trying to make an impact but is yet to really make one. And I think that this might be the first season where we might have a decent draft which can complement it. I'm not sold yet. I think that it's going to fall into a more kind of supporting role, but we'll wait and see. But so Greninja Protein paired with Thunderous Therian, I think is interesting. I like it. And then so we also this is the team of kind of, we got slightly off the beaten track, and we also have Gothitelle. Shadow Tag has been released. It's been let upon onto us. And so Gothitelle is the only one which I think has been picked up, which could actually use it. I think Gothitelle paired with like a lot stuff like Greninja and Suicune and Victini and Rayquaza, all mons which enjoy, and actually Mega Altaria, are all mons which really appreciate having a specific mon taken out, so that they have their hard wall taken care of, at which point they're able to either set up or just plain power through. I mean, it's going to be interesting seeing how this draft pans out. Again, I'd probably put, so in my rankings so far, I'd put Honor top, followed by Sketch and Smarry joint second, and then Coach and Bash joint third. I will inevitably get these wrong. However, moving into the 6th draft, this draft is going straight to the top. This is the draft which I took one look at and just thought, thank goodness that I am not playing this season. Everything about this draft just screams good. It's not so much about the raw mons by themselves, and I might have a bit of bias in the fact that it has a load of mons which I've played with before and enjoy using, but it's just a draft which looks like the team just fits well together. There is a lot of synergy, and there are a lot of nice niches for stuff to play. My single issue is hazard control. So I know that Tornadus has recently got defog. Prankster defog is going to be fun. Mew also gets defog, which I'm going to come back to. We also have Magic Bounce on Diancie, and I think Hydreigon gets defog as well. And so it's not, you're not penning Mew into being a supportive role here, but you haven't made life easy to make sure that it can be a properly unpredictable mon just yet. It's my only issue. As so, for a draft that has Tornadus, stuff like Magneton and Moltres on it, you're going to need some solid removal just to make sure that the entry hazards don't completely and utterly mess you up. However, just the pairings of stuff like Tornadus Eye, Manafi, and Seismitoad, I really like that. I like that a lot. The Elemental Core is solid as well, and the Dragonsteel Fairy is also solid. It's slightly ground weak, but then of course you have Hydreigon with Levitate again. I mean, I don't want to gush over this one too much because it is really solid, and just if there is I actually came up with a line for this, but it's kind of like, you look at this draft and I suddenly think of Thanos, and it's like, one doesn't think of fun when they go about trying to defend a championship, but this draft puts a smile on my face. So yeah, then we move into the bottom 6. These aren't actually specifically the bottom set, it's just that these guys are on the lower half. Now, so we move into Almighty Arceus of the LA Lycanrocs. His team is Tapu Lele, Mega Venusaur, Sharpedo, Shuckle, Glaceon, Incineroar, Salamence, Registeel, Mantine, Zeraora, Excelgor, and Groudon. Yeah. A couple of really interesting mons here. As much as I wasn't sure what to make of Oaks and Bash's drafts, this is, yeah. Okay, so let's break it down. So you have Sun with Groudon, and so you're boosting Incineroar, and you're making life harder for Glaceon and Sharpedo, but it means that you get huge synthesis on Mega Venusaur. Okay. What else? So we have a Zeraora. So the speed tiers. How are the speed tiers actually? Okay. So the draft's a little slow with the exception of Excelgor and Zeraora. So there's a bit of a void between like base 100 to base 120 effectively. But yeah, it's a fat draft. It's a fat draft with some interesting appendages. I see Salamence putting in work and Zeraora because they're both fun. Lele, yeah, okay. Lele is a bit of just a standalone one here. Yeah. Arceus is going to need to talk to me about this afterwards. You want? I want this to be explained because I can't see what this is just yet. I don't want to put you down because I know how good of a battler you are, but this is weird. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. We have Jimmy G with a team knockoff. With Dawn Wings, Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet has also got drafted. Second Shadow Tagmon. Porygon Z, Ditto, Sarina, Lycanroc Midday, Rotom Wash, Donphan, Mega Pinsir, Biosharp, Venomoth, and Blaziken. Ooh, okay. This is nice. This is nice. There's a distinct lack of a Dragon type, which is going to be interesting. And a distinct lack of a Fairy as well. Yeah, no Fairy type either. Or is there a Steel type? There's no Steel type either. No, Biosharp. Okay. It says Biosharp. Okay. Yeah, another interesting one. So Dawn Wings is always a win, especially with Wobbuffet. Porygon, which could put up Trick Room if I'm not mistaken. Ditto is always a nice one. Serena for the clearance. Lycanroc McDay, Speedy Boy, Endeavour is always a good fun. It's a fun set to run. Rotom Wash for also clearance and Donphan, so we got decent set of clearance. Mega Pinsir as well, nice powerhouse. Setup Sweeper, Biosharp also Setup Sweeper. Yeah, the final four are solid powerhouses. My single concern is, yeah, it's kind of this team needs a solid Wish Passer because then it gets scary. It's a little on the slow side, but then we have Trick Room capabilities, with the exception of Lycanroc Midday and Porygon Z, which are both quick, along with Mega Pinsir. Okay. Yeah, another decent one. Just not very convincing. So currently, I'd probably stick Crypto, like with a nose ahead of Honor, followed by Sketch and Tsunami, then Oak and Bash, followed by these latest two. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so we move on to one of the new trainers for this year, one of the new coaches in Taco of the Minnesota Shinx. I approve of the name. I like Shinx. I love that line. Megalux race one day. So we have Xerneas, Garchomp, Celesteela, Volcarona, Slowbro, Amoonguss, Megalop, Thundy Eye, Jirachi, Nihilego, Skuntank, and Kecleon. Now, yes. Okay. Yes, I like this. That is an awesome Dragon Steel Fairy call. And you have two options with the Steel type as well in Serene Grace, Bitch Face. I can't think of something else to rhyme. Jirachi, or Celesteela, which is still one of the best mons to have in any draft ever. Along with Xerneas, no Geomantian, no Calm Mind, I think, but still solid. Go away, mini lad, just for a moment. I love you though. And then Garchomp, Z Garchomp as well, along with Volcarona. And then we have a solid regen core in Slowbro and Amoongus. Okay, yeah, Megalop, Speedy, Thundy Eye, also nice with Defiant as well. Nihilego, Skuntank, and Kecleon. What are my issues here? Clearance. Clearance is another issue here. Hazard's clearance, Thundy Eye and Skuntank are going to be forced to bring Defog more times than not. Because you're going to have to bring one with Defog if you're bringing Volcarona, otherwise rocks come in every single game. I mean, apart from that, that is a really nice draft. That is a really nice draft. That might be going third behind Crypto and Honor. Yeah. It's much like, it pangs of the core that Arceus had with Xerneas, Stack Attacker and Garchomp, I think it was last season. But yeah, that's yeah. It's a touch. No, it's not actually. No, the speed tiers here are really good as well. Yeah. No, I liked it. I like this. I like this draft. I like that draft. Yeah. So Taco for third, I think, at the moment. Moving on into AZ of the Houston Hoopers. Narrowly missed out on playoffs, I think, last season. I think, yeah. So we AZ has Armaldo, Mewtwo, Swirlix, Mega Mawile, Quagsire, Kyurem, Heliolisk, Tyranitar, Celebi, Landorus T, Blacephalon, and Scolipede. Mega Mawile and Lando T. Who let this happen? I want names now, along with Mewtwo. That's horrible. And that is a really scary call. Paired with Blacephalon and Quagsire, and not Quagsire, what am I talking about? Kyurem. I mean, that is a really solid kind of powerhouse center core. And then with Tyranitar to work with it as well. And then so what do we have for clearance? We've got Amaldo, we have Webs on Swirlix, Quagsire with Unaware, Lando T also gets clearance now. Okay, so clearance isn't bad, it isn't brilliant either. You got loads of rockers, which is really nice. You got speed boosting Scolipede. Also with Z, yeah, this is another nice draft. I'd probably put it joint third. As much as the core is beyond belief horrendously scary, I'm not willing it to put it further than joint third. Yeah. Moving on into KHD of the Jersey Pursuit. I think he picked up a team at the end of last season. Did decent. Kind of did as well as he could with it. But so this season, with his first fully drafted out squad, it's Infernape, Azumarill, Perugly, Articuno, Palossand, Metagross, Sceptile Mega, Zygarde 10%, Alolan Persian, Zapdos, Deoxys Attack, Magearna. Okay, so the Dragonsteel Fairy, you have two possible permutations, and I like these options. So we got for that. So we got Magearna, Zygarde, Sceptile, Metagross, and Azumarill, all to play their roles in that. It gives you a lot of options on both special and physical sides. The Elemental Core is quite offensively balanced as well. Palossand brings a nice amount of balance towards, and Zapdos bring nice balance towards being slightly more balanced on offense and defense, and then Deoxys Attack just blows that out the water. This is another big, just flat offensive team, and it's relatively quick as well, with Deoxys Attack, Alolan Persian, Mega Sceptile, Zygarde 10%, Infernape, and Articuno, and Perugly all kind of being over base 100. Actually, I'm not sure if Articuno is. I think it is, but not sure. But yeah, so interesting team. I'm not sure where I would put it. The clearance leaves a little to be desired. But yeah, apart from that, I mean, you've still got 2 free agents, along with, and AZ has 3 as well, so that'll be interesting to see what happens over the season. And then finally, we have Hashok with Kieran Black, Chansey, Tangela, Gliscor, Latios, Entei, Katana, Tapu Koko, Reuniclus, Zekrom, Milotic, and Swellow. Coco Zekrom. Oh my word. Okay. We might, depending on how this goes this season, we might be having to put in a electric terrain rule. Yeah, this is pretty balanced. This is pretty balanced. Reuniclus is a nice touch in here to get a little bit of regen, along with Tangela. Gliscor is a nice addition for both clearance and setting rocks. Katana as well for clearance. And Swellow, I think, also gets defog. But then Swellow also likes it's got 2 possible real sets. Milotic being the fat thing that it is. Chansey as well. Yeah, this is a well balanced team, along with Kieran Black as well. But yeah, so that rounds up general comments. Right, we're gonna do this live, if it's willing to work. Okay. Right. So, in 12th place for my oh, okay. Now we're working, but we've got 1 too many. Right, let's just quickly delete that. Yes, I am sure. And it's died again. Okay, sorry about the intermission. Right, so in 12th place, I would probably stick. It's now not going to not be able to switch back again. I'll do this later anyway. But yeah, in 12th place, I would probably put, at the moment, I would probably go with Almighty Arceus. I just don't understand what's going on with that draft. I mean, yeah. Knowing you, you'll pull something out of the bag and it'll be fat and it'll be disgusting and it'll just kind of slowly wreck people. But some picks there don't make sense to me. In 11th, I would go probably KHD actually, because it's nice, but others have stuff which is just bigger and badder at the moment, and there isn't much defense on that team to really stop it from happening. There's going to be a lot of revenge killing for that team, I think, in kind of games. 10th, I'd go Jimmy. Again, it's I feel bad in kind of putting these, like, okay, none of these drafts are bad. They're not blatantly bad. It's just that these bottom 3 to me just are the worst of a good bunch in a sense, and kind of they're only there because either I don't see what's working or I just flat don't understand them. And then so in 10th, what do I put 10th? Wait, oh yeah, so 10th was Jimmy. So 9th, I would probably go with Coach Oak. Again, it's kind of, I don't want to play, I'd prefer to play down a draft than overhype it, and kind of I don't want to go around saying oh, this will be an amazing draft, watch it go smash people, and then without really any proper understanding behind what the Mons are doing, I prefer to downplay it and then be happily surprised by how well they do. So, Coach, you're here for the moment. I expect you to go up because your playing is fun and your commentary is even better, and that always wins you brownie points with me. Then in 8th, I would go probably Hashok. I mean, again, at this point, probably between like 9th and 4th, these are fully interchangeable. All of the drafts are kind of, at this point, they're of a particular standard, and the players are of a particular standard that I trust that these drafts will do well. Again, that's not to say that either like Jimmy or Arceus are bad players, because you both made finals last season, and I fully expect you to kind of come out all guns blazing this season. It's just the drafts for me outbalance your playing skill here. But yeah, so Hashok I put 8th. Yeah, it's solid, it's balanced, but nothing yells out to me on the team apart from the electric terrain stuff. 7th, I'd probably go Bash. Again, this is a solid draft. It's interesting. You're a top-notch player. I just want to wait and see before I start pushing you further up. 6th, I would go Sketch. You pissed me off. Sketch, you're 6th. Yeah, 5th. 5th is AZ. Wait, hang on. I've lost count here. No, 5th is Samami. No, 5th is AZ. 5th is AZ. It's yeah, one almighty core, but the rest I'm not convinced just yet. 4th, I would go Sumami. Again, it's interesting, slightly overpriced. I'm not sold just yet. 3rd, I'd go Taco, because Taco, man alive, I like your draft. Just clearance, mate, clearance. 2nd, I'd go Honor, because yeah, I don't want to go facing that. And then 1st, I'd put our defending champion Crypto. He has managed to put in a disgusting team, and it play. So for me, this draft plays to how I would play, and it just does well, and it looks nice, and it looks like it'll play nice, and when I look at its matchup versus everything else, it always has something which is able, like, even if it's a small niche, it has something which will be able to break it. With one exception of being Sketch, which is a genuine toss-up over whether or not Sketch is able to be patient enough with playing Stall. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. It's been a bit of a slog. We're heading up best part of 40 minutes. I want to quickly just say the music in the background, which I think has been there relatively consistently, has been from Tombo Fry. I'll put a link to his YouTube in the description because he's a lad and a half. I'm probably going to need to ask his permission before I post this. And yeah, so I hope you guys join us. I'll be trying to do these relatively frequently, week by week. If I can't, I will probably ask for a link to the Discord to also put in the description, because if it's not up on this channel, it'll be on, I will have written it out on the Discord. Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you around in the Discord, wherever. Cool.